Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
And that breaking news is happening right now in Georgia. At least 4 people killed, 9 others injured in a shooting inside a high school outside Atlanta. We're now getting some of the first video from the scene at Appalachia High School. Students streaming into the football field, try to get to safety after the shots rang out.
And now we know 2 students and 2 teachers will never go home. Here's what we're talking about. Appalachia High School is in Winder, Georgia. It's about 50 miles outside of Atlanta. It's also home to 1,900 students. And police say 1 person is in custody, and that suspect is a 14-year-old student at the school.
9:30 a.m. The school day had just started at Appalachia High School near Atlanta when shots were fired.
It was just like a loud boom as if a locker had slammed. So my teacher thought it was just like some kid acting foolish. So then she took a peek outside, and then we heard repeatedly the banging again, and that's when we could identify it was the gun.
Law enforcement swarmed to the scene while students sheltered in their classrooms.
The hard lockdown was placed, and then we ran to the back of the classroom, turned off the lights. I was shaking.
NBC News has learned there are 4 dead, many more injured.
We do have a suspect in custody, and we are asking for your patience as the media to please let us get the facts that we need to make sure we get this right.
After a lockdown was lifted, students were released. Parents and guardians arrived to take students home. Shirley Powers worried about her grandson.
I feel sorry for the kids that they've had to experience such evil.
Kathleen Hardrick checked on her neighbor, a senior.
He actually heard the shooting. He's like, they're shooting right across from my classroom. How does this happen?
Now a school and community wait for an answer.
And in response to the shooting, police stepped up patrols at schools across the Atlanta area.
Our top story back here at home, more than 200 Teamsters are on the picket line tonight at the Marathon Oil Refinery in southwest Detroit. The union asking for better wages due to rising inflation. They also want better job security. Let's get out to Shantae Passmore live at the refinery. Shantae, the facility is still operating, correct?
Yes, you know, all day, Devin, we have been seeing trucks moving in and out of the refinery, and despite there being workers on strike at this hour, we learned that Marathon went ahead and found replacement workers, and tonight, not only are there concerns about pay, but also safety.
On strike, roughly 200 Marathon refinery workers hit the picket line. Their concerns: seniority rights, subcontracting language, and union security.
Michigan is no longer a right-to-work state, so we need union security where everyone's in the union. They have that right now in Michigan, and of course wages.
After months of trying to work out a deal with the energy company, Teamsters Local 283 walked off the job this morning. Its contract expired January 31st. Aware of the looming strike, the state's only petroleum refinery brought in temporary workers to sustain operations.
There's a lot of folks in there that we've worked with for the last 20 years. Those folks are like family to us as well. So, you know, we have concerns for them and their safety as well.
But union workers claim the temporary workers may not have the training to safely follow protocols.
As you can see, this refinery is in kind of a different location than other refineries, being in the middle of a city, and these guys work here at a safe pace.
Marathon said it's disappointed by the strike. In a release statement, it reads in part, "The company has negotiated in good faith, but the union thus far has been unwilling to agree to acceptable terms for an agreement and instead has announced its intention to strike in support of its bargaining positions. Meanwhile, it expects no supply disruptions given it's still fully operable. Gas Buddy believes it's unlikely the strike could affect Michigan drivers.
And unless this is some sort of an exceptional event or turns into an exceptional event, or if there are refinery issues that are exacerbated by the labor strike, I wouldn't really expect any sort of action or any impact to gasoline, diesel, or jet fuel prices at all.
And back at her live this evening, we typically know that gas prices drop after Labor Day because of demand, and of course they make that switch to the winter blend. Still, gas experts tell me they will be keeping their eyes to the pump to see what happens over the next few days. And while yes, the crowd has thinned out a little bit, you can tell that people are ready to be here for the long haul if need be. We've seen the tents, we've seen the chairs, we've seen people bring out food, and I'm also learning that the union has a large strike fund. Live in Southwest Detroit this evening, Shantae Passmore, Local 4.
bigger the fun, the longer this could go on. We'll, of course, keep watching it. All right, Shantae.
All right, the Biden administration accuses Russia of trying to influence voters in the 2024 election.
Justice Department announced 2 Russian nationals working for Russian state-run media have been charged with violating the Foreign Agents Registration Act. They allegedly ran a scheme to distribute content to Americans with hidden Russian government messages. 10 others and 2 other entities were sanctioned. The DOJ says it seized 32 internet domains in which AI generated false narratives that were spread.
Well, the excitement is building around Detroit as we continue to count down to Sunday night. We are now just 4 days away from the Lions matchup with the Rams in prime time.
Do you wish you could hit fast forward on that? Just move it ahead. The meeting comes after the Lions, of course, moved on in the playoffs, and doing that knocked the Rams and Matthew Stafford out of the playoffs last year. Hobie with us now. Difference from this year to last year, though, the expectations are so high.
Of course, but to your point, I woke up today thinking it was Thursday.
I know.
I like a lot of the fans, just want this game to get here. Well, we've talked about it for months now. This Lions team has Super Bowl hopes, but soon the rubber will meet the road right here in the Motor City as the trip to that goal begins. Vegas has the Lions as a 3.5-point favorite over the Rams right now. LA lost future Hall of Fame defensive tackle Aaron Donald in the offseason, but they've done a great job rebuilding throughout the draft. The Lions may have won in last year's wild card round, but Dan Campbell thinks this is a better Rams team that's going to be coming to town.
I expect them to be better than they were last year. The influx of youth that they got this year, those are all players we really like too, in the draft. And so, I think they're going to be a better team. But I feel like we're better too. So I feel like you're getting 2 teams that are better. Now, this is game 1, this is week 1, but I feel like both of us have improved.
And the Lions, of course, improved in the secondary. We'll see if that pays off because on the other side, of course, Puka Nacua had a huge game in that playoff matchup. We're going to hear about that a little bit later.
Cooper Kupp's pretty good, too.
Yeah,
so
he's good, too, a duo. And he had kind of a down year last year, so he'll be better and healthier this year.
We'd expect.
Can't wait. All right, Hobie, thank you. And it isn't just the team gearing up for Sunday night's game. Downtown Detroit is gearing up for what's expected to be a huge weekend as the Pride returns to Ford Field.
Let's get out to Sean Lay. Sean, Ford Field has a capacity of about 65,000 people. I expect we'll see a lot more than that coming to downtown just to be in the mix, right?
How quickly can they add an addition there? Devin, you think you want to go quickly into the weekend to get to the game. Hobie thinks it's Thursday. It was Cher who said, if it could turn back time. We don't want to turn back time. We want to get to that game. Look, Eastern Market, take a look at this. Well, no tailgaters. I would not have been surprised if we saw some today on a Wednesday. Follow me this way, though. The buzz we're feeling, the energy we're feeling, it is very real. Our eyes don't deceive us. This team is good. The coach is good. What's happening here is real. It's happening. Enjoy it.
Go Lions!
That energy, that optimism leading up to this Lions season is something that we all can see around Ford Field. What is different now, it is something that we all can truly feel. Listen to Joel Johnson.
I hope they do make it to the Super Bowl. They're doing good so far.
He saw us, pulled his bike over to put these words together, Lions and Super Bowl. Are you feeling the energy? Are you feeling all this excitement?
Yes.
In what way? How do you feel it?
I'm astounded. Look, the other day I had my Lions gear on riding my motorcycle.
The transformation downtown is Tigers baseball coming to an end and Lions football taking center stage for their most anticipated season. And of course, it is the wins, but it's also the fact that the Lions are for real before our very eyes. But even more, it's the word grit. In fact, when you see a work crew in this heat working with cement right across from Ford Field, you get up on the truck and ask, is this real? And the immediate answer is this.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
Why do you say that right now?
Oh, the Lions are good.
Can you believe you're saying that right now?
From the past years, I would say no, but last year, and I got a good feeling about this year.
There's a buzz. We all want to see that hard work on the field, but that also means bars and restaurants downtown will be packed and a lot of hard work for employees.
No matter if they're good, if they're not good, Lions games, they're always busy. They're always busy. We are always, it's ridiculous.
Back here live, that's Sierra Godsey, that brass rail. Taking a step back and looking how big the bars and restaurants are, including brass rail, and looking at the people behind the bar like Sierra, it's going to be a huge party. a PSA, and we got to remind each other to be very patient because people there are going to be working very hard. This is going to be a party that's going to get started right and started quickly. Guys, also, sorry about that. Coming up at 6, have you seen the Applebee's commercial? A national spot with Dan Campbell, head coach. Have you seen it? It's a brilliant spot. And there's a few things that really stand out about it. I'm going to show it to you and see what you think coming up at 6.
Yeah, that's pretty darn fun. All right, Sean, we will see you then.
Yeah.
All right, tonight at 10 o'clock, we invite you to watch our Detroit Lions All-In special. We're going to take you inside training camp. You're going to hear directly from the players about these massive expectations that they have, that so many others have on the Lions this season. All In, airing tonight at 10 here on Local 4.